Hey girls! You won't believe the drama that just dropped. Dorit Kemsley's ex-hairstylist is spilling all the tea, and it's hotter than ever. He's calling her out for gaslighting, dodging payments, and making life a total nightmare behind the scenes. We're talking about leaked text messages, hotel bill drama, and a hairstylist who is finally speaking truth after being ignored for months. It's messy, it's shocking, and trust me, you're going to want to hear every single detail.
It was a text from Dorit saying that her credit card was indeed charged for my room charges, and she sent me the bank statements of them being processed on December 9th. I then immediately went to my Amex account and I saw that the room charge that I had been charged was deleted and removed from my statement. So I immediately sent a sincere apology, you guys could read it right here, and sent her an updated invoice removing the room charge immediately. This is when Dorit keeps going on and on saying that I used her card without her permission and that I called the hotel myself and I demanded that they remove the charge from my card and charge her card without her permission.
So if you thought the Real Housewives world was all glitz and glamour, think again. This scandal is exposing what really happens when the cameras aren't rolling. Grab your snacks, get comfy, and let's break it all down. Chris Dillon, Dorit Kemsley's former hairstylist, is the one dropping all the shocking receipts. He was a key part of her glam squad, making sure she looked flawless every time she stepped out. From red carpets to TV appearances, she was always there, curling, styling, and perfecting her signature looks. But behind the scenes, it was far from glamorous. According to Chris, working with Dorit was a complete nightmare. He says she was manipulative, dismissive, and worst of all, she didn't pay him for his time and services. One of the biggest issues started in New York City. Dorit had Chris extend his stay to continue working on her hair, promising she'd cover his hotel expenses. But when it came time to settle the bill, silence. And that's when things started to unravel. Chris had originally planned to leave New York after styling Dorit, but she asked him to stay longer for her big appearance on Watch What Happens Live. She reassured him that she'd take care of the extra hotel costs and even offered to provide her credit card details. But when Chris went to check out, the hotel informed him that the payment hadn't gone through. Dorit's card was never processed, leaving Chris stuck with the bill. Confused but assuming it was just a mix-up, he politely reached out and sent an invoice for reimbursement. Weeks passed, and he heard nothing. No follow-up, no payment, just silence. Every time he tried to get an update, he was met with excuses. It was becoming clear that Dorit wasn't planning to pay up anytime soon. And that was just the beginning of the drama. If there was any doubt about Dorit dodging payments, Chris shut it down by leaking their text messages. And let's just say, the receipts don't lie. Every time Chris brought up the money he was owed, Dorit had an excuse. She'd respond with, "Oh babe, I'll take care of it," or "I'm on it, don't worry." But nothing ever actually got handled. Meanwhile, her accountant was apparently just waiting on Dorit's approval, yet she kept ignoring the entire situation. Chris was patient, professional, and polite through it all. He gave her the benefit of the doubt, hoping she'd eventually make things right. But Dorit, she was giving full gaslighting energy. She kept stringing him along, making it seem like she intended to pay, but never actually following through. At this point, Chris was catching on. Dorit wasn't just forgetting. She was avoiding the payment on purpose. Even after the NYC drama, Chris kept working with Dorit because, well, he's a professional. But the payment issue wasn't going away. Dorit took another trip, this time to Utah. And of course, she needed Chris to style her hair. Once again, she assured him that everything would be handled. And once again, he showed up and did his job. But when it came time to settle the invoices, crickets. Chris continued reaching out, giving her the chance to make things right. But at this point, he was over it. She had broken promise after promise, and he was starting to realize that getting paid wasn't going to be as easy as a simple text reminder.
Story. Back in November, I was in New York City and I was asked by Dorit if I could stay an extra 4 days to do her glam for Watch What Happens Live, as well as a photo shoot that she had taken place during her stay. Dorit offered to pay for my hotel room for the duration of our stay, which was 3 nights, 4 days. She offered to send over her credit card so I could extend my stay. However, the hotel we were staying at needed a credit card authorization form filled out since she wasn't there to do it in person.
After months of waiting, being ignored, and dealing with endless excuses, Chris had finally had enough. He took to TikTok to spill every last drop of tea, and let's just say, he did not hold back. Chris exposed Dorit for stringing him along, ignoring his invoices, and treating him poorly despite all the work he put into making her look flawless. He laid out the full timeline, showed the receipts, and proved that she kept delaying payments while still using his services. Fans were shook. The sweet, polished Dorit they knew from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills was now being called out for being manipulative and refusing to pay someone who helped her. The question on everyone's mind, is this the real Dorit? After Chris put her on blast, Dorit finally responded, but instead of taking accountability, she went into full defense mode. She accused Chris of being a bully and claimed that she didn't owe him a dime. According to Dorit, he was just trying to get money he wasn't due and was twisting the situation for attention.
What's your response to Tracy Tudor saying that you don't pay your Glam Squad's bills and that you stalk her on Instagram?
Yeah, it's hysterical.
Do you stalk Tracy Tudor on Instagram?
That's the funniest thing I've ever heard. Genuinely, like wholeheartedly. There was a lot of that she said that, I don't know, it came out of left field. In particular, her talking about Chris Dillon, a makeup artist, a hairstylist rather, that I worked with this year for the first time in 8 years. And he sent an invoice overcharging me and charging me for a hotel that he had already used my card to pay for.
Okay.
And I think he was just trying to bully this invoice through, not realizing that it goes through a process, and my office flagged it. And when they had written back, this has already been paid, it was like, oh, I didn't get away with that. And obviously he needed to resend an invoice. But Tracy going on Jeff Lewis, who is the poster child for inviting anyone that has anything shitty to say about me.
Okay.
But her going on there and talking about something that she knows nothing about, it seems more like attention seeking than anything.
Okay.
But here's the thing. The receipts say otherwise. Chris had the text messages, the invoices, and the proof that Dorit had promised to pay him, but never did. Fans weren't buying her response, and instead of shutting down the drama, she only made it worse. Now, the internet was officially divided. Was Chris just seeking attention, or was Dorit really trying to dodge her hairstylist spill? Social media is in chaos, and the reactions are wild. Some fans are rallying behind Chris, saying he was absolutely right to call Dorit out. After all, 4 months is a long time to forget a payment. They're praising him for standing up for himself and exposing the truth. But others? They're defending Dorit, claiming she might have just been busy or assumed her team had handled it. Still, many are side-eyeing her, wondering how someone with her wealth could let something like this drag on for so long. The Real Housewives world is officially divided. Some fans want Dorit to just pay up and move on, while others think Chris is making a bigger deal out of it than necessary. So, what do you think? Should Dorit just settle the bill and end the drama, or is Chris exaggerating? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If there's one takeaway from this mess, it's this. Always get payment upfront. No matter how rich or famous someone is, business is business. If Chris had gotten his money before doing the work, he wouldn't be chasing invoices now. But beyond that, this scandal has people questioning Dorit's reputation. Is this just a misunderstanding, or does it hint at a bigger pattern? Only time will tell. What's your verdict? Team Chris or Team Dorit? Let's hear it in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more piping hot tea.